Welcome back to the Post Birdie podcast, TPC Deere Run Week. And with us, as always, our tour director, Bill Prasecki. Welcome back.
Nice to be back, and looking forward to this weekend. This one has been a long time coming. We signed the contracts for this tournament back in October. So actually, before Nationals, we had this one set for this year. So this our flagship event of the year, I think, at least. So it's been a long time coming for this one. I'm excited.
I agree. This should be our flagship event. TPC Deere Run is not that far from Chicago. And the John Deere Classic just finished less than an hour ago. And we'll be out there a week from today. Saturday, we're at Fyre Lake.
Yes, which is a course that if you ask a lot of people who have played both courses, I think you'll probably hear maybe a 50-50 opinion, maybe even more than that, of people who will say that Fire Lake is actually a better course than TPC Deer Run. Obviously, it depends on your preference in golf courses, but I would say it's right up there as well. But two very different golf courses. You've got Fire Lake, which is a par 70, so a little bit shorter in distance, but not any less difficult. I mean, it's a Jack Nicklaus course, so you're going to have to pay attention to slopes and angles and the typical stuff you have to pay attention to on a Jack Nicklaus course. And then TPC Deer Run is just very different as well. So it should be a good test for all our players. We got a lot of players from a lot of different tours in this tournament next weekend, so it should be a good time.
Yeah, Fire Lake is a little more prairie type grass. A little more open, and TPC Deer Run is more parkland type golf course.
Right. And Fire Lake, I think probably the biggest wild card on Saturday for Fire Lake is probably going to be wind, if there is any. If there's not a lot of wind, I mean, it's still a difficult golf course, but if that wind picks up for any reason, then you might see some higher scores than maybe you expected to see on a par 70 course that's probably only going to tip out at maybe somewhere around 6,400 yards or so for champ and A flight. So it's a good tournament golf course for everybody.
It is a little bit of a course that you need to play once or twice to kind of figure out on a couple of those holes. Number 3, for instance, is quite a bit downhill and you can't see the landing area. And then you have a downhill shot into the green. Not a very long hole, but it's
and
very
not a lot of margin
intimidating.
for error either.
No, there's prairie grass out to the right and trees out to the left. So you have to hit the fairway. And then at the end of the fairway is a lake. So you can't just bomb driver down to the bottom because you can reach the lake, even though it may say something like 300 or 330 yards, but it's so downhill.
Yeah, it'll get there down the slope, especially if it's downwind too. You'll get there.
Yeah. Then TPC Deer Run. Anything you want to know, you could have watched this weekend.
Yeah.
Golf Channel replay tonight.
Yeah, or watch the replays, or I don't know, go on YouTube, or ESPN Plus, I think, has some highlights probably if you subscribe to that. There's some places you can find some previews and highlights of the tournament for sure. But yeah, if you wanted to study, I guess, for the test, then this weekend was your weekend to do it. But again, it's the pros make it look easy, right? Shooting 20 under par across 4 days. I mean, this is, of all the courses that the PGA plays, TPC Deer Run's probably one of the easier courses that they play, but that doesn't mean it's going to be easy for us. So it should be a good time. I don't know what exactly will still be up, but some of the stands, or at least like the scaffolding, probably in a lot of places will still be there. So it should be a good opportunity for some good pictures and photo opportunities for people if you're interested in that. But it'll be a good way to finish off the weekend, especially coming up 18. I think even most casual golf fans are probably familiar with that 18th hole at Deer Run coming up, with the water along the left side. It'll be a good way to cap off the weekend for sure.
Absolutely. Let's just talk about who's coming this week. So it's a three um, 3-tour event for us this week.
Yes. So Chicago is hosting, so everything will be, run and organized by our Chicago team. But this is also on the local schedule for Indianapolis and St. Louis. So Indianapolis and St. Louis players are going to get full points for this event as well. But we've got a lot of players from a lot of other tours. I mean, I'm looking at the roster now. We've got Charlotte, Kansas, Arizona, Milwaukee. We got people on the waiting list from Mississippi, El Paso. I mean, we've got quite a good turnout for this event. It's almost, I think, it is a local event, but it's starting to have a little bit of a feel like a regional. Just having this many players from this many different tours out there playing courses of this caliber. So if you want to win this weekend, you're going to have your work cut out for you no matter what, because you're going to be playing against some of the best players from our tours.
Yeah, I played in a regional this past weekend, and we have as many people playing A flight as we did in the regional on Monday and Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah. 17 in A flight, B flight, especially 27 people in the B flight. We're going to pay out 5 spots for the B flight just because there's so many people. But yeah, so definitely everybody's got their work cut out for them, but it'll be a great test.
Well, just looking at the point standings, start with champ flight. Luke is still in first place.
Oop.
Matthew Payne with another win closes the gap a little bit, but talking to him this past weekend, he's going to be out of town for the foreseeable future. He's out of the
Yeah,
country.
he's back in the UK visiting family for the next couple of weeks, so he's gonna miss a few. He's gonna miss this one, and then he's gonna miss McRae on the 19th, and then he's also gonna miss Arrowhead on the 26th. So he's not gonna be back until Blackstone on August 8th. And so yes, he has closed the gap on Luke, but Luke's got an opportunity now to pull back ahead. And as far as the points race is concerned, no matter what happens this weekend, Luke is still going to have the lead because Matt Payne is not playing. I'm playing, but even if I were to win and get 900 points, Luke is more than 1,000 points ahead of me. So he's still going to have the lead after this weekend, no matter what. And we got quite a few tournaments in August yet. So knowing Matt Payne, he's probably got at least another win or two under his belt coming in August just because that's what he's been doing all year. But for now, Luke's lead is safe.
Jake is still in fourth place. You're in third. Jake is in fourth. However, Jake is not making the trip
He's
either out
also
of the
not
Quad
playing.
Cities.
Yeah. Yeah. Mason Schultz is playing. He's in fifth, but he's pretty far back because he's missed quite a few events. And he also got his points prorated a little bit because he got bumped up from A flight. So, like I said, for now, Luke still has the lead, but, and he will even after this weekend. But we'll see. There's a lot of season left still.
Well, at this point, Luke is the only one who's made all the events in champ flight.
Correct.
And
Which
he's
is the
also
biggest
played
ticket to winning the points.
in all three of his regionals, and that's why he has so many points.
Right. Right.
Now, we talk about Matt Payne and how great a season he's having. 2 years ago, Raphael had the exact same season as Matt is having right now in A flight,
In A
and I
flight.
won
Yeah.
A flight because I played more tournaments.
You just
He
played all the events, right?
Yeah, he has the exact same resume as Matt does right now. He had 4 wins and a second place, and one of the wins was a major.
Mhm.
So he had exactly 2,500 points, and that's where Matt is right now. But that's all the tournaments he played all year. So he ended up finishing below me in the points race.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the biggest ticket to winning the points that you just got to play them all. So we'll see. I mean, Matt will be back in August, and we've still got 3 locals plus the tour championship then. I don't know if he's going to go to a regional or not. I don't think so. So he's going to have his work cut out for him if he's going to catch Luke, that's for sure. But I don't know. It's a never say never type of thing because he can rattle off a couple wins. We know that.
Well, you might need to rattle off a couple of wins and have somebody take a wedge to Luke's kneecap. So he misses a couple of events.
Could always be arranged.
Moving down to A flight, Matt Facali, he was not able to make it out to the regional down in Branson. He didn't
Right.
realize when he signed up that it was a Monday, Tuesday regional.
Right.
So work got in the way, and that allowed me to play halfway decent down there at T7 and took over first place.
And it looks like it's, you got a couple people behind you there in third, fourth, and fifth, but it's feeling a little bit like you guys got a 2-horse race here for A flight because you've got him. I'm looking at the standings now. You've got him by 110 points, but I assume I haven't talked to him directly about this, but I assume that Matt's going to play all the rest of the local events, and I assume you are as well. Uh, you're going to TPC Scottsdale. I'm pretty sure he's going to play French Lick. So,
He's not playing French Lick.
oh, he's not. I didn't know that.
No,
Okay.
he's got a prior commitment. I think he said he has a wedding that weekend
Ah,
that
okay.
he's
All
going
right. So
to.
you're going to pick
So
up a little ground on him with whatever points you get from TPC Scottsdale. So he's going to have to basically, if you guys play all the rest of the local events, basically Matt has to beat you in most of the rest of the local events if he wants to catch you, because he's going to lose ground not getting another regional. But we'll see. I mean, 900 points for a win is the big difference from finishing like fourth or fifth. So he might have to do that in this one or in the tour championship. But it is looking like it's a 2-horse race between you and him for A flight.
yeah, I'll be there this weekend. Matt will be there. Kale, who won this past weekend, he's not going to make it,
Right.
and he's in third place. So he's probably going to get passed by at least a couple of people and
You
drop
would
down the
think.
list, I would
Yeah,
imagine, with
because all the
double
way down
points this
this
week.
list, I'm looking at the points. Justin, James Park are both playing. Quibus is not playing, but I think Robert Lesher is playing. So Rich Podsmek is playing. So there's a lot of people behind Kale in third who are playing. But still, I mean, you've got, even between Matt and Kale, you've got almost 700 points there of a difference.
Yeah.
So everybody's got a long way to go to get to first and second.
Yeah, getting back to the playing all the events thing, I'm the only one in A flight that's played all the events, and I played 2 regionals, and that's why I'm in first
That's why
place
you're
right
in
now.
first. Yeah, that's how it works.
Matt has one local that he could play, so he could go up to Wisconsin or out to Indiana and play a local in the near future and pick up some points there. Moving down to B flight, I think the first 4 guys are gonna be there, Paul,
Yes.
Lewis, Michael, and Vincent. All
Yes.
4 of those guys are gonna be there.
Yes. They're all
And
playing. Brandon is not. Perillo is not. But Wally Bromberg is playing. And so is Nabil as well. So actually, a lot of people in B flight are playing. Brandon Perillo is probably the only one who's not out of like this top 8 or 9. But all those top guys will be there. Yeah. So we're setting ourselves up for maybe a little bit of a shootout in B flight as far as points are concerned.
Brandon started out hot with a win and a second place,
Hmm.
and he just hasn't made many events since, and he's fallen down the points ladder.
Right.
Paul's won an event. Michael finished second last weekend. Vincent's won an event. Lewis has placed high a couple of times.
Right.
And I think Michael is the only one that's played all the events in the B flight. So you just play all the events in the B flight, and you're in third place.
And you're
And
going to be
that's
in
the
third.
most
Yeah.
competitive flight right now.
And now the only thing, I'm just looking at this, we haven't talked about this yet, but the only thing that might throw a wrench into this is the handicaps. So Paul Chaplin is at 9.2 and Luis Ayala is at 9.1. If either of them were to shoot a really good round, or maybe a couple really good rounds, if either of them were to drop to 8.9, which is not that far, they would get bumped into the A flight. And if either of them gets bumped into the A flight, then you're really opening up that points race in B. So we'll see. I don't know if that'll happen or not. Not necessarily, rooting for that. I mean, obviously you want to see people play well, but it's a possibility they're both on the cusp of that handicap range.
That's happened in the A flight a bunch this year. We've had
Mhm.
a bunch of people move up. In fact,
Right.
Kale is the only one in A flight who's won a Chicago event and still is
And
in
is
A
still
flight.
in the A flight. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So it could happen. We'll see. They got a couple tough courses this weekend, and then the week after at McRae is, no easy task either. So we do have some tough courses, but you never know.
Yeah, tough courses actually make it easier to bump you up if you play good on a tough course.
That's true. That's true.
Moving down to C flight, off the top of my head, I think there was one person that wasn't going to make it in C flight, and I don't remember who it was.
Stan Mitchell is not playing Fire Lake and Deer Run, and he's the points leader by 300 and something points, 335 points. But he is not playing. Anthony is. He'll be there. He'll be our starter, as always. Tom Mesher in third place is playing. Drew in fourth place is playing. And Chris Bilba in fifth is also playing. So is Ed Mallett. Adrian Ayala is not. He withdrew. Jimmy Barassa is not. And then we're getting kind of far down the list. But there's a decent chance we're going to have either a new C flight points leader or somebody's going to get really, really close to Stan for that C flight lead because he's not playing, but we've got 2, 3, 4, and 5 and 6 all playing this
Yeah,
weekend.
even okay. So yeah, pretty much anybody that is in that top group, if they
Hmm.
win, they take over the points lead most likely.
Right. Yeah.
Stan has won twice this year. Anthony finished second, lost in a playoff this past weekend.
Hmm.
Tom has won. Drew and Chris both have played all the events in Chicago.
Right.
So, and neither one has played well enough to be in a playoff or that high finish, yet they're 4 and 5.
But you rack
Just
up the points just from playing. Yeah.
just playing in the events, racking up points.
Right.
So that just goes, I mean, we beat it like a drum. You have to show up, get the points, and you're gonna be up on the points list. Moving down to D flight, Patrick Kelly still leading D flight.
Yes. And he's playing Fire Lake and Deer Run. So is Mike Taylor. Remus is not. Brad obviously is. So is Josip. So is Jack Tucker. So is Tyrone. But they got, ways to go to get the Pat. So Pat Kelly's got about a 300 point lead over Mike Taylor. Brad is up there as well, and Josip. So again, other than your person in third place, other than Remus, you've got all your top points people playing this weekend. So Pat's the leader in the clubhouse, but we got a big D flight. I think 19, I believe. Well, let me look. Yeah, 19 in the D flight this weekend. So a lot of points to be had.
Patrick Kelly is a winner earlier on in the season. Michael Taylor, I think he finished second out in was it Blackthorn maybe earlier in the season.
He, yes, finished second at Blackthorn, and
Remus was a
he's been up
winner.
there. Mike Taylor's been up there in most events. I mean, he finished 225 points at Pine Meadow. That's third. So he finished third at Pine Meadow. He finished, I believe, fourth at Silver Lakes in the 2-day. So he's been up there in a lot of events as well. Again, hasn't won, but playing all the events and then finishing in a halfway decent spot on the leaderboard as well gets you up there in the points race.
Brad finished second, I think twice now, at least once.
Second at Pine Meadow, and he finished 350 points. And he must have tied for third. I think it was a tie between third and fourth at Silver Lake. So he's knocking on the door. He was a little further down the leaderboard to start the season, but he tied for third at Silver Lakes and then finished second at Pine Meadow. So his game is rounding into form at the right time, put it that way. He's moving up and up that leaderboard. So we'll see.
Yeah, Mike Taylor is the only one who's made all the events in Chicago so far in D flight, and that puts him in second place without a win. So that kind of rounds out what we're looking for this weekend.
Yeah, it should be like I said, it should be a great event. Knock on wood, the weather's looking good. I mean, I know we're as we're taping this, we're a little less than a week out, so we'll see what it looks like then. But weather looks like it's going to be good. Turnout's going to be great. Courses should be great hosts for us. You know, don't want to get too ahead of myself, but if all goes well, then we'll definitely look to run it back in 2027. But we'll see how we do. I'm counting down the days. It's like I said, this one's been on the list since last year. So we've been waiting for this one to happen. So it should be a great time.
Outstanding. We'll see you next Saturday.
All right, sounds great. Thank you.